Thank you, Miro. Pleasure to be here. On the last minute, I had to actually run from our UNDP offices here, but it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of my colleague and friend Ravi Karkara, who co-chairs the World We Want platform policy and strategy group, which is a joint venture between civil society and the UN system in an effort to capture the voices of millions of citizens in the building of the new Sustainable Development Agenda. So once again, Miro, thank you so much to you, to GloCha Action Network, and of course to IAAI for giving us the chance to come here and chat with you on how to make sure that the Sustainable Development Agenda, besides being a very ambitious and comprehensive to-do list for humanity, actually is able to be transformed into action so that in 2030, when our kids and the kids of our kids are actually enjoying benefits of the decisions that we're taking today, are a reality, but a positive reality. And what do I mean by that? Well, we have reached out to over 7 million citizens worldwide via the My World survey, and we have held over 100 national consultations, through the facilitation of the UN system, and we also held 11 thematic consultations, which were mainly targeting academics. One of them was on the environment, but if you browse the World We Want 2015.org website, you will see all this information in there. As Miro said, it's a massive wealth of information in there, but it's mainly capturing the voices of citizens. And then you have UNDG-led dialogues on the implementation. If you want to find out more, I invite you again to take a look at those data sets. But we realized that even as the UN system, it's impossible for us to go out and reach out to the entire world. So what we did was we listened to what the civil society organizations worldwide had done in terms of reaching out to their constituencies, and we incorporated those data sets. Today we can say confidently that we have over 1 million qualitative inputs in this platform. 1 million qualitative. I mean, I have to really stress the fact, because it's something that has never been done before. But it's not something that it's for me here to brag about, sitting at the UN institution, but rather to emphasize that this belongs to you. This avenue, the World We Want platform, belongs to you. People of the world, citizens, regular folks that are concerned about what sort of world we pass on to our children and children of our children. So you are the guardians of this platform. This is an avenue that needs to be institutionalized. And I think that it's very pertinent today that we have a message from UNESCO, and given that education seems to be the underlying sort of aspiration that binds us all. I mean, look at the survey, look at the results, regardless of where you look, which country, what Human Development Index of the voter, what gender, what age, you'll see that education is always at the top of the list. So is that a surprise? Well, I guess to a degree, yes. Because we never expected that there would be such uniformity in global aspirations around one particular topic, and education is just that. If we can say that we are bound by a common aspiration as humanity, education is just that. So then, how do we tie that to innovation? Well, our work has been extremely difficult, mainly because it was never done before. But we have come up with some solutions, and civil society has come up with some solutions. And then this is in the forms of reports, of forums, of case studies, and then everything is stored in this particular platform as well. But then how do we make sense out of it? How do we share this knowledge? Well, first of all, it has to be open. It has to be transparent. But then it has to also be visualized. There is no time for a politician, say, sitting at the UN, whether it was the high-level panel, the open working group for the Sustainable Development Goals, or now this week for the intergovernmental negotiations to go out and read all of those documents to find out what their constituents want. So we have to visualize this data, we have to process it for them and deliver it to them in a very user-friendly way. And that is exactly what we're launching this week. We are launching not only those consultations visualized, but we're also launching solutions to these issues. Award-winning solutions from indigenous communities worldwide, from the academics, and all of those case studies are there. But we're also tracking what politicians are saying. There has to be accountability in order for the Sustainable Development Agenda to actually be transformed into action. So how do we find accountability? There has to be transparency. And the fact that we can visualize and track what member states are saying gives us just that. So again, I invite you to visit the platform, click on visualize and you'll see what I'm talking about. And that's our mission. Our mission is to be on the UN side fit for purpose. And in order to become a learning UN, as Miro very brightly points out, we have to be open to criticism. We have to be open to input. It has to be a two-way communication system where it's not the UN reaching out to citizens to find out what they want every 15 years. No. It is about social participation. It is about social inclusion, and civil society has to be at the table. So again, thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to the debate.
Thank you very much, Juan. That was really an excellent presentation, and as I said, this is really a treasure, and really grassroots, the knowledge is here, and in this treasure there is certainly the path towards an optimal transition to a sustainable world. We only need to uncover it. There are some visualization efforts there, but also the bridge with the UNESCO Management of Social Transformation program could be very useful, I think, because they have the connections with all the universities, social scientists out there. They should really look through all this information again and again, and really communicate it to the process and show whether we are on the right way. But this needs resources, and perhaps as in the policy and strategy group where I'm also a member of, there's often the discussion of resource mobilization and fundraising. Perhaps an information, do we have enough money or?
Yeah, we're actually a very small team. The My World survey, you'll be surprised, was carried on by a group of no more than 7 people here in New York, and of course with the support of over 2,000 partner organizations worldwide. So it was done mainly through volunteerism. In terms of resources, it's tough. We have to, really emphasize the fact that we're creating value, that this is indeed an avenue for social participation, and the doors are always, for some reason, very willing to remain closed. It's always a hardship when it comes to keeping the UN an open and transparent place. So it's a constant battle. So of course we value your support in this area. Without people like you, Miro, without the young student in Kenya, Cameroon. That was recognized today as a People's Voices champion for going out on a bicycle and reaching out to 50,000 fellow Cameroonians in the most remote villages. All of this wouldn't have been possible. So I think the lesson to be learned is that civil society participation cannot be an afterthought. It has to be one of the main ways of enriching and building an ever-growing and ever-learning multilateral institution for humanity, for peace, and for a better world, ultimately. That's what we all want.
Thank you very much, Juan. It's wonderful the way you presented it, and I'm looking forward to work with you and your whole team also on mobilizing resources at the GloCha Giving Pledge Conference 2016 in Klagenfurt.